This is Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
It's the show on our channel where I explain comics to two guys or girls who don't really normally read comics and never really grew up reading them when they were children. I did. I read them for the last 20 years, on and off, because I would occasionally get rage quit, like the entire industry, and then come back, of course, like a crying, desperate ex-lover.
Like, honey, my security
Please come back, I'm sorry! I see you're doing something right! You'll never hurt me again!
Oh, you did!
Not again! But they love me. So, this week, we're going to talk about and discuss the original graphic novel, Spider-Man Family Business, or The Amazing Spider-Man Family Business. This is when they were really concerned with making sure that everyone knew there was one Spider-Man title, and it's called Amazing Spider-Man.
Kingpin's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, he is.
That's hilarious.
Well, he's in a warm climate.
Yeah, I am on vacation.
Yeah. Also, they want to evoke a lot of imagery from like pop culture that you're familiar with. That's why he looks like Hannibal Lecter at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, he does.
Because you know what that looks like.
Yeah.
Similarly, this book came out right before Amazing Spider-Man 2, the movie. And they wanted an original graphic novel that was like kind of untethered to continuity, that gave you an idea of like what Peter Parker's like in comics. So if you're so inclined to buy one from seeing the movie, maybe you might pick up this $25 hardcover original graphic novel. Similarly, this also took place maybe it took place before or after Superior Spider-Man. That was going on during that time. Forget everything that you might need to know about what Spider-Man's been up to for the last 2 years.
Done.
Exactly. And that's the conceit of the show. So, in this one, it's written by Mark Waid, by the way, and co-written by James Robinson, with art by Gabriel Dell'Otto, who you might remember from Secret War. It doesn't matter. So,
anyway,
Amazing Spider-Man Family Business is a fun story that is nothing like a normal Spider-Man story. Normal Spider-Man story is, Peter Parker is down on his luck, is having a hard time, and the Vulture attacks, and he can't keep his dates, and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And this one, and there was also kind of surrounded in a lot of, controversy that was deliberately generated by the company, because in it, they tease at a major status quo change for Peter Parker. So it's in continuity, but not in continuity, and who knows? And I'll tell you why when we get there.
Okay.
Peter Parker's having a problem because, he can't pay his electric bill, he doesn't have enough money, and
Why doesn't he just beat up Electro and web him in a bubble?
just shake it out of him.
And then just, put him in a socket or something.
Yeah.
Just, keep him in a corner of his apartment.
Oh, jeez. Like a slave?
Yeah.
That sounds more
Because
like
Peter Parker's not a monster, but...
You know what's funny? In Superior Spider-Man, team-up or whatever, he does do that. Otto Spider-Man, tracks down and defeats every member of, the Sinister Six, and then puts them in, a stasis chamber and, experiments on them and, uses them for shit.
And he uses Electro to, power his...
I mean, I assume he does, but Electro's there.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would also be a great way for Electro to suddenly become a superhero. It's just free power for New York City!
Yeah.
Everyone loves me now!
Except he'd always have to be doing... I mean, I guess he could just, power, shoot energy into,
Huge batteries or something?
batteries, yeah.
Yeah.
He could team up with Tesla and just make a whole bunch of money. Yeah, that'd be genius.
Yeah, I don't think Electro's that bright.
No. Oh, good one!
I sit there. I'm gonna go.
So, Pete can't pay his electric bill, and there's this thing where he's like, okay, I gotta pay the local convenience store to wire the money to my electric company so they don't shut it off by midnight.
What happens if they shut off by midnight? He just loses the food in his fridge?
Yeah. Well, and and it's cold, maybe. I don't know.
Not every problem for Peter Parker needs to be a superhero problem.
This is just
This is an average
I don't
Joe
want to lose
problem.
my power.
Yeah, I paid for that food.
That's fair.
It's gonna spoil.
All right.
So,
Maybe he has a fish.
Yeah.
And
that fish is going to stink.
And this is, by the way...
I meant a fish, a living fish, in an aquarium.
Oh.
The bubbly thing.
Well, yeah, it's easy. You just blow into it.
Or you just get a bunch of scales.
I mean, it wouldn't work because it's carbon dioxide coming out instead of
Yeah.
oxygen. But
The typical Spider-Man story is 3 pages in which his spider sense goes off and there's a truck out in front of the convenience store and it's filled with laundry detergent. Because these bad guys, right, they've determined that convenience stores don't have enough of this high demand laundry detergent to keep it. They don't have it in bulk. So they steal laundry detergent from convenience stores, and then they like sell it to convenience stores that need them at like an inflated cost.
Sorry, what?
That's the plot. It's like ridiculously convoluted for a throwaway contrivance.
That is so bizarre.
It's so weird.
You know, that
And
sounds like a
thing that happened.
Well, I was gonna say that sounds like a Democratic gang. It was like, you know what? We never let Steve come up with a plan. It's because they're not very good. Let's go with him. We don't have anything going on right now.
Yeah, he's
Let's
the
take what you
Ringo.
got.
Okay.
We're gonna steal laundry detergent and then sell it to the stores that we stole it from at an inflated cost.
All right.
I'm gonna call it the wandering scheme.
Yeah. Like,
All right, Steve. We're gonna do this one time.
yep. And then Spider-Man defeats them because it's stupid. So
And then Steve's like, okay, better idea. We're gonna steal all the Q-tips from... Punch.
yeah.
Steve's out.
Steve, you're fired. So, it distracts him, Peter Parker, long enough as Spider-Man so that he misses the store closes and they turn off the power, and he's like, he can't pay his electric bill. So, because it's like a thing where people are like, oh, isn't it fun to remember the time when Peter Parker had a rough life, like in the 70s and 80s? Let's just keep doing that.
Okay.
So, he gets back to his apartment as Peter Parker, and then these fucking, like, Splinter Cell agents burst through the windows.
Cool.
And they black bag him and then tie him to a fucking zipline and they pull him through the window.
Holy shit!
And
Is he Peter Parker? Or
he's
is
Peter
he,
Parker.
Okay.
He's not like dressed as Spider-Man. He's
All
like,
right.
he'd already changed. He went into his apartment. He's like, damn it, the power's out. And then it's like, go, 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 Rainbow Six. And he's like, what?
And his spider sense doesn't save him.
Well, his spider sense goes up, and he's like, I don't want to fucking blow my secret identity. Like, there's like 12 of these dudes in here, and if I just pull out some spider moves, they're gonna be like, whoa! What the hell?
So they're not... He doesn't think that they know that he's Spider-Man.
No.
They're just like, oh, these people want to capture Peter Parker.
Yes.
Because he's such a star photographer.
Right. Well, they do want to capture Peter Parker, and I'll explain why in a second. So they take him, and of course, like he's being like pulled up into the helicopter, and he like breaks free and like makes it look like, oh, the rope was broken, falls, and he's like, it's dark. Maybe they won't see if I shoot a web line to not die. So he like shoots a web line and then like swings into traffic, and there's this like sweet, cool 70s like convertible red car that like screeches around and like catches him. And it's this, like, hot femme fatale, and she's like, get in!
Well, he's already.
He's
in.
like, I'm already,
Yeah. Well,
But
job done.
But I am.
Right. She's like,
We'll
no.
get out, then get back in properly.
And they speed off, and she's, like, clearly involved with whatever's going on, and she's, like, tearing through the city in, like, a high-speed chase, and he's like, what's going on here? And she's like, you know, you're Peter Parker. And he's like, yeah, I know, I'm Peter Parker. But, like, he goes, how do you know that? And she's like, because I'm Teresa Parker, your sister.
What?
And they want you. Like, they're trying to get you. Apparently,
the title of this book makes a little more sense now.
Family Business. Well, the reason why it's called Family Business is because Peter Parker's parents, in the normal continuity, were S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. But in this, they're CIA agents.
Okay.
So they're secret agents. His parents are secret agents.
And he has a sister.
Well, the idea was, like, so Pete's parents, Richard and Mary Parker, were CIA agents, and they were, like, globetrotting James Bond types. And then one day, like, the Red Skull actually winds up, like, fucking them over and they die.
Okay.
That's the story. And there's actually a story in the 90s where, like, it was rumored that they were actually Hydra agents, so Peter and, like, Silver Sable and Captain America team up to clear their names, more or less.
All right.
Anyway.
But that has nothing to do with this, because it's out of continuity.
Totally
Gotcha.
different. So she explains, I'm your sister, Mom and Dad had me, and, like, I was given up for adoption or something, some flimsy excuse as to why he never knew about her before then. And she actually just figured out, she's like, I just found out that Richard and Mary Parker were my parents. Like, I was living, you know, whatever. Essentially,
Wait,
like,
she found out that CIA agents were her parents.
Yeah.
Because that's not a closely guarded secret?
Right. Well, no, she wound up
This is free out in the open,
she
wow.
wound up actually working for the CIA. She got into the family
How
business.
clandestine.
Exactly. Like, spying was in her blood.
Ah.
As opposed to, like, radiation being in his blood.
Right.
So, the two of them, I think the car gets destroyed, and then they hop a cab, they go to the airport, they get in the plane.
Q's gonna be really angry.
I know.
She wrecked that car. They
Yeah.
literally just jumped out.
No, and it's funny because it would have to be an American Q because like that is a like just a 70s
Right,
like
right.
clunky car. It's fun, but it's like not something that Bond would drive. So they got to Monte Carlo, and she's like, "Okay, you have to wear this tux," and it's like a spy movie where she's like, "I'm gonna dress like provocatively, and you're gonna wear the white jacket and the black tux." And
That's awesome.
it's funny because it's Peter Parker in it though, so he's not smooth, and he doesn't speak French. The shit goes down in Monte Carlo, and Pete's like, "Crap, I gotta be Spider-Man in Monte Carlo."
And she doesn't know that he's...
She doesn't know he's Spider-Man.
Okay.
And in fact, like, Peter Parker's wrapped up in this because he's Peter Parker, not because of Spider-Man at all. So,
That's kind of fun.
yeah, it is fun. And he doesn't have to be Spider-Man for a little while until shit goes down in this casino, and then he, like, causes a distraction, and then he dresses as Spider-Man, and then Cyclone appears, and you guys might remember Cyclone from our live episode at the Garden State Comic Fest where we talked about the Clone Saga, the original Clone Saga from the 70s, in which there's a French supervillain named Cyclone who can create tornadoes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not this Cyclone. That Cyclone died, and then a new Cyclone took over.
Who's also French?
Yes, he is also French.
And can make tornadoes.
And he makes tornadoes. So it's
Okay.
virtually the same Cyclone. And Spider-Man defeats him, and Teresa is like, "What are you doing here, Spider-Man? And where is Peter?" And he tries to make her think, he's like, "Oh, I am the French Spider-Man. We have Spider-Man in every country. Au revoir." And she's like, "Really?"
I am your sarcastic neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Is this his parents with the Maltese Falcon?
yeah.
Goddamn.
That's cool.
Yeah,
It's a fun little...
There's so many
homage.
Easter eggs and references to, like, 70s spy movies that it's ridiculous.
Okay.
So, then they have to go to... Well, first they have to run into, like, their intermediary. Because in every spy movie you gotta run into, like, another guy who's, like, deep undercover.
Right.
And,
Their contact.
Yeah, their contact. And he's got, like, a safe house, and he
Okay.
is also hopelessly French, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm just so charming." Like...
He was hopelessly French.
Yes, well, he's just like, "I am so charming, and I am so ingrained into the culture." And he's like, so he talks to them, and he explains, like, you know, Richard and Mary were my contact back in the day, and they were involved in some, like, crazy Nazi scheme, and, you know, they need you because it might be, like, DNA sensitive. What's going on might be DNA sensitive, and so that's why they need Peter.
But they have Teresa.
Right, but they didn't know about Teresa. Teresa was just like, they're gonna try and get Peter, because they don't know about Teresa.
Okay.
Like, Teresa was off the books, but, like,
But then how'd she get wrapped up in this?
she discovered through her CIA contacts that Peter Parker was gonna be targeted, and so she's like, "I'll go and save him, and then
Okay.
solve the mystery." Now, the mystery is such that the kingpin of crime, who had thought been dead or in jail or whatever, he goes to this, like, dark, hidden, terrible Guantanamo-esque prison and fetches an old mutant villain named Mentalo, or whatever, who has psychic powers.
Okay.
And he's like, "I have a
It's a
plan."
good name.
Yeah. And he's like, "I have a plan." No. To steal gold. Nazi gold.
I'm gonna hand this right back to you. Nazi gold, sorry.
Nazi gold! I got a plan to steal Nazi gold.
See, if it was just regular gold, and then he was going to irradiate it in order to make the gold that he had worth more.
Uh-huh.
That would make sense.
Yes, and he
Someone
would have
should make
looked a
that as
lot
a
like
spy movie.
Goldfinger.
You know, I don't think that would ever work.
Really?
It would have to have some, like, weird character who, like, kills someone in a strange way, like, I don't know, throwing a hat?
All
Throwing
right.
a hat.
And can we have a chick with a strangely provocative name that you'd never name your child this?
Yeah, like no subtlety whatsoever.
Yeah, can we do something like that?
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank here. You mean, like, Legs Malone or something?
No, more. I want
Yeah, like,
more.
make
I
the
want-
second name mean something also. Like, you actually picked a real name.
Yeah.
Something like Tits Abound or something.
Yeah!
Ooh.
Like that!
But not that.
But not that,
That's a
something
little
else.
No, something that's like almost a name, but it's not quite. But
Yeah. Anyway, it'll come to us.
yeah, whatever.
So,
We'll figure it out later. In post.
so Kingpin's plan is, I'm going to use Mentalo, and I'm going to use Mentalo to help me get Peter Parker, because, as it turns out, like, Richard and Mary Parker discovered this, like, cache of Nazi gold that is protected by a...
Egyptian curse?
No.
Spider God?
No. A giant robot. A giant Nazi robot.
I was gonna say, it better be a Nazi robot.
Yeah, it's a giant Nazi robot that the Red Skull actually wants to be using. There's a couple of them. It's called the Sleeper, and
Okay.
And it seeks out Nazi gold.
well, it seeks out people who want to take it. So the Nazi gold, by the way, is hidden in Cairo. So they got to go to Cairo.
See, I wasn't far off with the Egyptian curse then.
Yes.
It's true.
So they go to a safe house that used to belong to Richard and Mary Parker,
Okay.
and it's filled with pictures of Peter, and there's no pictures of Teresa, and Teresa's like, oh.
I think that it used to belong to them, but clearly no one has paid the rent in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's still theirs.
Does
Well, no,
it
no
have
one
power?
is. It's like, yeah, it does have power.
Well,
But it's off the grid or whatever. Who cares? So they go there, and Peter winds up like activating some like super spy retinal technology that like opens up all this hidden secrets of the Parker family, and it reveals the plan about the Nazi gold.
I can determine by your retina that you are a child of...
Yes, that your
Parker.
DNA
That's
is
not how
connected.
that works.
Well, it works like this, and they figure out like, okay, Richard was like he set up the Nazi. He like locked the Nazi gold away.
So the Seeker couldn't find
Well,
it.
no, Seeker's in there with the Nazi gold protecting it. And so he's like, I don't want anyone to try and get it. So he rigged it so that you have to use, like, Parker DNA in order to open it. But no Parker would ever open it, so it's safe.
Then why did you have a kid?
Yeah.
how would he know that no
two.
Parker would ever?
Well,
open
he's
it?
just saying, like, I'm not going to open it. And I'm never going to tell my kid about this hidden cache of Nazi gold protected by a Nazi robot, so whatever. So anyway...
Why don't I just smelt it and, like, get rid of it somehow?
I know. Well,
Should've-
no, it's a lot of gold. It's a lot of gold.
You're gonna blast it
And-
into space.
It's in the middle of the desert.
All right.
It's buried in the middle of the desert in like a hidden chamber.
Okay.
That you have
So-
to use a staff with a stone on it.
It's computers and eye technology. So
But there are temple guards, right?
just the one Nazi robot.
If you give him.
A pendant of life.
Then he'll let you try again to take it.
Okay, cool.
But there's another one.
Oh!
Then the bad guys, and I call them bad guys because it's like it's faceless bad guys. They
Okay.
work for the Kingpin or whatever.
They're goons.
Yeah, the bad guys wind up like shooting a missile at the Parker's like house or like bunker, and Peter Parker's like shit. He uses his spider powers to like protect her and save her, and now they're like stuck to a cliff, and she's like, "Oh, you're Spider-Man." He's like, "Yeah, shit. I hope you're my sister because otherwise I'm fucked." So,
Or if you're not my sister, I'm fucked.
so he uses his spider powers to get them out of there, and then she uses her CIA contacts to commission a new spider suit be made for him.
With spy shit in it?
Yeah, like with like technology in it and shit. It's like whatever.
All right.
Doesn't
I
matter.
mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and because they're on a spy mission, she's like, I wanted to be stealthy, so it's the black suit, and that's how they work in the fact that the black suit's in there.
Okay.
They go to Cairo. They find the hidden bunker. He uses his retinal scan to open the door, and the Kingpin's there.
He's there, like inside.
Yeah,
How's he get in?
He was
the Seeker.
no. He's there because Mentalo was using his powers to obfuscate him and all of his goons in the temple. And the door he opened wasn't like the... Kingpin was always there, like always in like the main room. And like when Peter uses his retinal technology or retinal scan to open the door, it actually opens like the chamber door, which is the door that Kingpin wanted opened in the first place. You know?
Okay.
And
Alright.
when Mentalo reveals that, like, there were actually goons there with, like, guns drawn and Kingpin's there, he's like, and you can also lift the thing off of Teresa here to make her look and think that she's related to Peter Parker.
Aww.
And so... And she's
But I
like,
mean, now they can bang!
right!
Perfect.
Yay! Hold your horses. So the Seeker comes out and Spider-Man's gotta fight it. And Teresa's like, you robbed me of my identity, because, like, she's some chick who was, like, a CIA baby. Like, she was just, like, lost in the system, and she was raised by whoever, and she's part of the, the organization, and she thought she had a family, and she thought she was related to Peter, and now, no.
But how long did she think that? Was it, like, the last week?
Like, the last couple of months, maybe. I mean, it sucks. And before that, she had no family anyway, so she's like, oh, I finally found a family. Like, yay.
So they gave her false hope.
Yes.
Okay.
And I should have mentioned before, Mentalo, the mutant with mental powers that Kingpin is like, using to further his scheme, he is being like manipulated by the Kingpin. He's held against his will. The Kingpin is using him to further his evil schemes, and he promises, like, maybe I'll let you go when this is over, but I'm the Kingpin, so no, I'm never going to let you go.
And Mentalo can negate Peter Parker's spider sense, because clearly there were all these guys with guns on, and his spider sense did not go off.
Right. Well, I think it actually does, and he's like, well, it's an old cave, and it's maybe, you know, like, maybe it'll collapse.
Like, maybe it'll collapse. I don't know.
Well, it's a cave with, like, technology built into it, and we know that, like, there's Nazi gold in there, so whatever.
Maybe it's got flesh-burrowing scarabs in there.
Yeah.
Ooh, that, like, consume you in half a second?
Yeah.
And
Except
a guy who
don't.
screams and his mouth jaw just, like, opens 3 times normal size.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
And it'll look super real.
Yes, for the time. So Kingpin's like, you're fucked, and I'm gonna kill this chick. Open the vault. So Pete opens the vault. The Seeker comes out. Spider-Man's got to fight the Seeker. And
Wait, Peter doesn't want the gold.
no, but like he also doesn't want this innocent chick to be murdered by the Kingpin.
No, but I'm saying, like, why does he fight the Seeker?
Oh, because
Shouldn't
the Seeker's like, get the fuck out of here, everybody.
What shouldn't the Seeker be going after? The Kingpin?
The Seeker's going after everyone who's anywhere near the gold. And Kingpin wants the gold, so yes, he's going to attack him, but he also, like, Spider-Man has a moral responsibility to protect everyone.
I think this is a time where Peter Parker just be like, hey, you wanted the gold?
Enjoy.
Deal.
Yeah, well, he doesn't, and he fights the Seeker. And ultimately, eventually defeats it, while also saving Cairo, because the Seeker can fly and shit, and it's, like, gonna crash into Cairo, and he has to, like, move the, like, you know, just to, like, manipulate its navigation and stuff.
And it lands harmlessly in the ocean.
No, it lands in the desert.
Harmlessly in the desert.
Yeah, but harmlessly. And, yeah, so Kingpin, you know, he and Spider-Man have, like, kind of a showdown, and he's also like, oh, and I also know that you're Peter Parker, so thanks a lot for that. Like, you're fucked. Your life is over. And Teresa winds up getting the upper hand. Like, Kingpin's gonna shoot Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's, like, wasted from his fight with the Seeker. And then Teresa has a gun, and she, like, kicks his ass. And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna kill the Kingpin now. And he's like, whoa, like, don't kill him. We don't kill people. And she's like, I'm not even related to you. It doesn't matter.
There is no we.
Yeah, there's no we anymore.
I'm the CIA.
Yeah, and
we
while,
kill people.
And while they're arguing, Kingpin, like, uppercuts her, and she winds up, like, a round goes off, and it shoots Peter in the shoulder, and you're like, oh no! And then Mentalo is freed from his, like, grip of the Kingpin.
Because
reasons. And he's like, fuck you, Kingpin. Wow! Like, uses his mental powers to fuck over Kingpin, make him forget everything that basically happened.
just turn him into a baby.
Yeah, he should turn him into a giant baby. A giant sun-baked baby. Instead, he just turns him into, like, the Kingpin. But
Well, I mean, I still want him to be the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's not fair. He shouldn't lose his identity.
Right. Well, it's nebulous as to what actually happens with the Kingpin, because he, like, the only thing we know is that Mentalo winds up making Teresa and Kingpin forget that Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
But he knows that Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Yeah, but he's also like, whatever.
I am Mentalo. I know everything.
Yeah.
I already
There's nothing
knew.
really, yeah, I already knew and I don't give a shit. You're never gonna run into me again. So, but it's nebulous as what the hell happens to Kingpin, because it's basically he got reset from the beginning of the story, because when they leave Kingpin in the desert.
Oh!
Like, out in the open.
Out in the open desert. And, when they... By the way, when Pete defeats the Seeker, he winds up driving the Seeker into the bunker with the gold, so it buries the gold deeper in the desert. So, like, you'll never find the gold now.
So the gold is screwed, and the Seeker's destroyed.
No, what you'll need is a diamond in the rough.
Yes, to reveal the secrets of the gold.
So a big tiger head's going to come out of the ground.
Yeah,
So-
naturally. Kingpin's kind of started from the beginning of the story, because when Peter Parker is unconscious because he got shot in the shoulder, and he's like, ah, and
A bullet in the shoulder.
He's losing blood, man.
He's Spider-Man.
He's also exhausted from his fight.
Yes, he's already at like 45%. So, Teresa and Pete, when they come to, the CIA is there, because, like, Teresa called them or whatever. And Mentalo's gone, Kingpin's gone, and then everyone leaves, and they leave the Kingpin in the desert, and the Kingpin is just kind of, like, trudging through the desert, and he's, like, going over the plan that he wants to implement at the beginning of the story, where he's like, I need to find Mentalo because I have a plan to get Nazi gold. So he's like just wandering through the desert, like trying to do this whole story over again.
Right, like he's like grasping at phantom memories.
Yes.
That seems like a real waste for Mentalo.
I know.
Like, make him forget the Nazi gold. Make him forget that Mentalo.
Yeah, but if you did that, then you wouldn't be able to use the Kingpin again.
Yeah, or maybe he can't like continue on until he puts this plan together. So he's just gonna be stuck like that for a long while.
Yeah.
Because Mentalo's like, no, I'm out.
Yeah. So, in the end, you know, Pete's like, hey, like, thanks a lot for helping me, like, solve this mystery and saving me, and she's no problem. And
he's like, hey, if you still want to be my sister, that's cool.
he's just, well, he basically says, like, I'm sorry you didn't turn out to be my sister. And she's like, yeah, it really sucks. Because you're a nice guy. And then it's revealed that the French guy who they met before,
Yeah.
he took a teacup that she drank from, and he, like, did some DNA testing on it. And he's like, oh, look at that. And that's how it ends. Along with a flashback to Richard and Mary Parker in their bunker, in that, like, safe house. Richard is like, I'm really excited. And I love the characterization of Richard and Mary Parker in this, because Richard is very much Peter Parker. Like, Richard's very, like, jokey. He's also, like, a super spy. Like, he's just very slick and cool, but, like, with a crappy sense of humor. Or with a dopey sense of humor.
Okay.
A dad sense of humor?
Yeah, well, a Peter Parker sense of humor.
Oh, okay.
And he's just like, you know what? Like, we have a kid at home. Your sister or whatever. I don't remember how, like, Aunt May and Uncle Ben are related to them. Like, I think it's Richard's brother is Uncle Ben. But sometimes they mix it up. So, especially when you deal with, like, Bill Jemis's Marvel story, where it's... we're not going to get into that one. He's like, you know, we have a kid at home, like, Ben and May have been great taking care of him, but, like, we gotta go. Like, we should stop. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, and when we get back, we'll be the 3 Parkeros. And she's like, just 3, huh? And she, like, rubs her tummy. And he's like, what? And then you as the reader are like, what?
Wait, whoa. Hang on. They're gonna go on their last mission, and, like, he doesn't know that she's pregnant, which means
And she didn't say anything?
No, and I'm saying, and then, I guess that's the last mission they go, and they...
I guess that's the last mission they go on, and then
Maybe
she dies. Or it's the last mission, or that's the mission to, like, hide the Nazi gold.
Right,
But, yeah.
like, if that's the case, like, she clearly was early on.
Yes.
You're telling me they saved that baby?
Yeah.
Well, like, apparently they saved that baby, and it turns out to be...
No, I know, but that's really early on to be able to... That's like a peanut.
I know. It's weird.
Well, I mean, like...
Unless it's not their last mission.
It's the last mission they went on, but that doesn't mean they died on that mission. It's just
Right.
the last mission.
I think it's the last mission. No. It's the last... Because they die on a mission. So I think it's the last... I think it's the last mission as far as... Well, let's see. Hang on.
Well, it's like a 9-month mission.
Yeah.
It's a really... Look, there's in-depth spy work. They got to do a lot of research. They have to build these identities and make people believe them.
People think because of those, like, spy movies that this shit happens, like,
All right.
fast.
No, this
It's
is
months
really
of planning. At least 9 of them.
Yeah.
No, actually, in the text, they don't actually say, like, this is the last mission.
Okay. There you go.
I interpret it as the last
Everything's
mission.
fine
Yeah.
then.
So
Ignore me.
anyway, that's nice. So it's like the status quo mindfuck for this book is them saying, like, does Peter Parker have a sister? In the beginning we say yes, and then towards the end we say no, and then at the end we say, well, if you like that though, yeah.
If you like it, it's your decision. Maybe.
Yeah, go for it. Whatever. I don't care. Fuck you. Because no one picks it up. This was like, what, 2012?
Well, I hate the fact that they don't actually just give you a
An
yes
answer.
or a no.
No. Oh, no. They can't do that.
Because what the fuck does it matter if he has a sister?
I know.
I have no problem with that kind of stuff. Whatever.
I like... You know, it's funny, when I first heard about it, I was like, Peter Parker's a sister? No. No, it's dumb. But the more that they, like, the banter they had, and, like, how very similar they were, and how much fun I was like, I kind of like that. Like, that was kind of fun.
Well, I like the fact that he has a sister, but, like, then just make it that he has a sister.
Yeah, but just do it. But don't tease it and then make it go away. Although
you kept opening up to this page, I thought that was cute.
Yeah.
She's wearing the little, like...
web.
Yeah.
Like, red scarf.
That's really cute.
There's so much of this book that I really think is, like, just brilliant, and the art, of course, is beautiful.
It's
and
gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
The art's gorgeous. The story, of course, is expertly written. Like, it's so much fun. And, like, Wade can do no wrong in my eyes sometimes. But I don't normally like his Spider-Man. This, I was like, okay, I like it. Because it's easy to try and make Spider-Man like quippy, and it winds up making Spider-Man look like an idiot because like the things he says aren't always funny or always interesting or always clever. But Wade only makes him quippy when he's like, okay, I got a good one. I got a good zinger. I'm gonna give it to him. He does a good balance of making Spider-Man go goofball and also like deadly serious. Like knows that the consequences of my actions like are life and death. Like, so I like that. He also does a nice job of balancing really old continuity, like Mentalo or Seekers, like or Cyclone, and actually working them in from where they last left off. While, like, Kingpin is like, what? I thought he was dead, or not, or whatever. Like, that's kind of weird. And when this takes place, technically, in Spider-Man's continuity, you know, like, that stuff was kind of nebulous because probably editorials, like, make it so that people don't need to know anything to jump in. And Wade's like, okay.
Well, that's a good way to go.
But I'm still going to use Mentalo and the Seekers. I'm still going to have flashbacks to stories that actually took place in Marvel continuity. It's cool. And then, and of course, because the original graphic novel, they have like some supplementals. Like at the end, you got these really fun like alternate covers. You've got some sketch pages. You have some. I almost call them links because I'm so digitally connected. But like some references to other original graphic novels that Marvel's put out at that point. I really don't normally like hardcovers. I find them to be kind of like if they pinch the back, they kind of wreck the middle. You know what I mean? Like you miss some art from the center. But for this, it actually is really well bound, and I really like the finish on the cover. Like it's just a pretty piece.
It's like a satin finish with a spot UV or something.
It's only 90 pages, so it's a really quick read. It feels like on the short side a Bond movie with Spider-Man in it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
It seems really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. I would totally recommend it. And I bought it on a lark too. They had announced that they were going to do a Peter Parker's sister story for a year, and then I just forgot about it. And then one day I posted on like a forum. I was like, "Hey, were they ever going to do a story about Spider-Man having a sister? Whatever happened to that?" And the next comment was something like, "It comes out tomorrow." And I'm like,
Oh,
wow.
okay, cool.
Well, cool. I wish that happened all the time. Like for movies I want to see.
It's like you time traveled.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, huh? Hey, where are they going to come out with like a Wii U? Yeah, that's available today. Well, I'm going to go buy it. You know, that kind of thing.
How about hoverboards? No!
No,
You're never getting
hoverboards.
that.
How about power laces? I'll just take power laces.
Just, tie them once and slip them on and off.
No. Still always going to get loose.
No, not if you do it right.
If you do it right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long.
I really feel like you should apologize to all the French people for your terrible French accent.
I think I was pretty good.
How was it? Let me hear it again.
Oh, sorry, blue.